Hello guys, it's Angelina and Dima from Okeanische World. In today's video we're going to make a review of very interesting tarp tent solution from Onewind Outdoors company. Ultralight Survival Shelter for stealth camping. We personally have never used nor tested such tarp tents before and always prefer to go for conventional freestanding tents.
But the weight and budget price is what attracts us the most in it, as it costs only $39 and weighs in total 465 grams with all the accessories. So we want to test it out in the field, looking at its features and all the setup possibilities. It claims to be a versatile, reliable shelter suitable for many situations. So if you're curious to find out more details about this product, stay tuned for it. Let's start with what's in a bag. The tent comes in a simple plastic bag with a pulling rope at the top, and the manufacturer recommends storing the tarp in this package when not used. Inside, the tent is divided into two ultralight bags. In first there is the shelter itself, and in the second bag there are 8 aluminum packs with 4 reflective guidelines and a magnetic tent hook. This tarp shelter weighs only 265 grams, and the pack with accessories weighs additional 200 grams, which makes a total weight of 465 grams. This is a good solution to split the shelter and accessories in 2 separate bags. Despite the fact that the tent doesn't take up space at all, it will be still useful to store the packs separately from the shelter. The kit comes with 8 faceted aluminum packs, and we personally think that they could be made rounded and thinner like we have with our MSR tent. Then it would be possible to further reduce the weight, and it would be more convenient to insert these packs using just the palm of the hand. But in the case of having the edges on the packs, it is slightly uncomfortable. The edges dig into the hand, and if the terrain is hard, then you have to use some rocks for help or put something under your palm. Guidelines are of a standard type. They look solid and rather long. With the help of these guidelines, the manufacturer recommends fixing the shelter to the trees. The length should be enough, and if not, these guidelines can be connected with each other and achieve the lengths you need. The magnetic tent hook or pull-out adjustable system was an interesting addition that at first we had no idea what to do with. One side has a small rounded grip, a cap that needs to be attached to the inside of the tent, and the reverse part is attached to the outside of the tent. An elastic band with a quick release fastener for an additional rope is already attached to this part. This elastic band is necessary when there are some strong gusts of wind, when in case of a simple guideline, the magnet may not withstand and come loose. In our opinion, this is an ingenious solution, and we missed it when we reviewed the white 4-class M10 unhurried tent. We complained about the sagging of the tent, and it was one of our main concerns. But having 2 of such magnetic hooks would have solved it in a perfect way. So it is a very versatile little thing. Also with the tent comes an equally important manual that has a graphic picture of the shelter with numbers and possible combinations for setup. As it turned out, the shelter can be set up in at least 2 ways, as an open tarp shelter and a wind blocker or high setup as an additional protection from side winds. But in the case of a high setup, you will have to buy the special poles that are not included in the kit with the shelter. The first setup in our case was a little wrong, but the instructions and visual pictures helped a lot and speeded up this process. To begin with, we opened the shelter completely and lay it on the ground. The company logo in the corners should be on the front side looking at you. This is the outer side of the shelter. If we set up the shelter in an open tarp position, then we need to fix the mount loops number 8, 9 and 10 with pegs while stretching the tent on the ground. We don't touch the rest of the mount loops. Then we need our trekking poles. We take one at a time. On one side it goes into the fastening number 5 and on the other number 3. When installing the poles, we immediately need 2 additional pegs. We fix one peg to the fastening number 7 and the other to fastening number 1. Again, you will find the scheme with numbers in the manual of the shelter. At the same moment, we adjust the height of the poles as needed and stretch the tent as evenly as possible. And this completes the installation of this tarp shelter. It can also be noted that a magnetic mount won't always be necessary to use, but in the case of a strong wind, you can additionally install it. We find that the shelter is sagging in the center a bit, so we attach the magnetic hook to it, and on the outer side we install the peg and a guideline, or a guideline can be tied to a tree also. We learned that this shelter can be set up not only in the forest, using the guidelines as we showed here, but almost anywhere, including an open field. For this you'll need the trekking poles as it was in our case, and 2 poles will serve as the main supports, so with this setup you won't need the guidelines at all, except for the magnetic mount that still has to be installed with a rope. The fabric of this shelter is made of 15D nylon silicone coated on the face side and PU coated on the back side. It is super light, but at the same time strong enough material. It is of a dark green color, and we think it is a good color that is reminiscent to our MSR Elixir tent. Good for long-time use because it is not bright, and nice for stealth camping because it blends well with the environment. The tarp has 10 solid loops around the perimeter. For the first time you'll definitely need an instruction to know to which loops tie the guidelines and fix the pegs. We like the fact that there is a lot of such loops, and so you'll have plenty of mounting options for different situations. The manufacturer also thought out a loop down in the center so that the tent wouldn't be blown out by gusts of wind. And at the top there are not 2 but 3 loops, and it becomes possible to additionally stabilize the whole construction with that 3rd loop in the center, fastening the guideline to the tree if needed. We also want to know the fact that you have practically no restrictions in height when setting the shelter. It all depends on your trekking poles. You can set it high enough or choose to set it only 50 centimeters above the ground if using the poles in their collapsed state. Thus it can be installed and adjusted according to the gust of wind, weather conditions, and your preferences. Of course, such an open shelter can hardly save from heavy rain, but the company has an additional footprint that can be installed along with this, as we already mentioned, but for this you'll have to buy both the footprint and some poles to which it will be attached. You can buy this Ultralight Survival Shelter directly from the Onewind Outdoors website, and it currently costs $39.90. It is also available on Amazon.com and Amazon UK.
We really like this open tarp type tent, of course first of all for its inexpensive price, lightness and many different installation options. Its quality corresponds to description. We also really like the incredible solution with magnetic mount. Among the shortcomings it can be noted that if you want to install this shelter as wind protection, then you'll have to buy 2 more poles for it, otherwise it will be impossible to do. And of course 1 more additional tent footprint. And mosquito net for a full setup and protection from the rain is also not included.
We're pretty much aware that this tent won't be suitable for everybody, and it is a fact. It doesn't have a full protection from the rain, there is no ground sheet, so you'll have to sleep right on the ground. But we mustn't forget about the ultralight weight, as a lot of people are always striving to reduce the weight of their backpack. And this tent will help to shave off the weight of your backpack tremendously. But to some people this may seem too basic, as the lack of comfort is obvious. But we do think that for people who are used to the survival shelters, bushcraft and cowboy camping, it can be a nice option. In the end, it as always comes down to your own requirements to the shelter and tent.
Let us know what do you think about this shelter. Would you use it in your hiking trips? Also give this video a like if you found useful, and subscribe to our channel for more gear reviews like this one. We have lots of content to come soon. Have a great day everybody, and see you in the next video.
Bye guys!
Bye.